Welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we're diving into a world where the stakes are literally life and death: autonomous military logistics. We're talking about removing the human element from some of the absolute most dangerous driving environments on Earth. And look, this isn't just a self-driving truck you'd see in a city. It's a completely reimagined, incredibly resilient swarm system built from the ground up for extreme survival.
Picture this for a second. You're driving a massive truck, loaded with crucial supplies, navigating the freezing, narrow, cliff-edge roads of Ladakh at minus 30 degrees Celsius. Human drivers are facing life-threatening challenges every single second out there, and not just from adversaries, but from the brutal terrain and weather itself. Well, that's exactly where the Autonomous Military Logistics System, or AMLS, comes in. It's a revolutionary solution designed to completely pull human soldiers out of these highly perilous resupply runs.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Here is our roadmap for understanding the anatomy of this swarm. We'll start with the autonomous swarm revolution, look at the sensors and mechanical reflexes, check out the AI autonomy brain, unbreakable convoy communications, surviving battlefield threats, and finally, deployment and scalability.
All right, Section 1, the autonomous swarm revolution. So right off the bat, you need to know that AMLS is not just some fancy cruise control. We're talking about a resilient Level 4 autonomy system of systems. That means in specific, highly complex military contexts, these vehicles operate with absolutely zero human intervention. It literally takes vulnerable, driver-dependent convoys and turns them into these highly intelligent, AI-coordinated logistics swarms that survive extreme terrains on their own. Look at this like a giant puzzle made of concentric rings of defense. It's a true zero-trust architecture. You've got the vehicle platform at the very core, wrapped in a drive-by-wire system, and completely enveloped by the AI autonomy layer. The key takeaway here? Every single one of these layers is independently hardened. There is absolutely no single point of failure. If one system goes down, a redundant fallback instantly takes its place. And all that hardening is targeting a very specific, very massive benchmark: an 85% mission-level autonomy success rate. That number right there proves we are way past science fiction. The military is pushing for ground truth viability, where the vast majority of these brutal resupply missions happen without a human hand anywhere near a steering wheel. Moving on to Section 2, sensors and mechanical reflexes. Think of these components as the eyes of our swarm. First up, the primary LiDAR. It gives a full 360-degree, 200-meter view around the truck. And get this, it is literally heated, so it can melt off accumulating snow on the Siachen Glacier. Then you've got a 77 gigahertz radar array that tracks targets 150 meters out, straight through blinding desert dust storms. Add the thermal imaging camera to the mix that gives you dual spectral confidence to cut right through thick northeast jungle fog or pitch black nights. The truck never, ever drives blind. Now, let's talk about the nervous system. This drive-by-wire setup perfectly highlights that zero-trust redundancy we were just talking about. Just look at those secondary fallbacks. If the primary dual electric steering glitches out, a mechanical manual fallback seamlessly kicks in. If the electronic brakes act up, a hydraulic backup circuit fires immediately. The system always has a physical fail-safe to catch it. So, how fast do these mechanical reflexes actually kick in? Try 10 milliseconds. Inside what's called Safety Zone C, there's an independent microcontroller unit. If the AI ever tries to make a decision that would cause an unsafe physical state, this safety overrides triggers in just 10 milliseconds. That is literally faster than you can blink, let alone stomp your foot on a brake pedal. Which brings us to Section 3, the AI autonomy brain. Now, what's really interesting about this pipeline is the sheer speed of the real-time computational graph. Powered by a highly ruggedized Orin GPU, this whole AI brain operates under a super strict 100 millisecond latency budget. Think about that. From the exact moment a sensor sees a falling rock to the moment the truck physically issues a command to dodge it, less than a tenth of a second has passed. Here's how that pipeline actually breaks down into 5 clear steps. The system ingests the raw data, perceives the objects and terrain around it, fuses those different sensor streams together for total confidence, localizes the truck's exact position on the Earth, and then predicts the safest trajectory forward. It's just a continuous, hyper-fast loop of mathematical survival. But here's where it gets incredibly specialized. Check out the Terrain Intelligence Engine, or TIE. This isn't just standard civilian highway tech slapped onto a military truck. No way. This is proprietary AI trained exclusively on battlefield datasets. So when the truck rolls off smooth pavement and hits deep Rajasthan sand or treacherous Himalayan snow, the AI actively and dynamically shifts the torque and slip controls in real time. Let's shift gears to Section 4, Unbreakable Convoy Communications. You can think of this as the swarm's telepathy. It is a self-healing, software-defined radio mesh network. We are talking over 512 frequency-hopping channels completely locked down with military-grade AES-256 encryption. Why does that matter to us? Because if an adversary attempts to jam the signal, the network just instantly hops frequencies and self-heals right around the interference. Every truck stays perfectly connected. And they manage all this bandwidth very carefully through strict convoy protocol priorities. Let's say the network gets completely jammed or degraded. Priority 0, or P0 data, like emergency stops and spacing safety beacons, is absolutely never dropped. The system will drop on-demand video feeds first, it'll compress telemetry, but it preserves those P0 safety beacons at all costs to prevent massive multi-vehicle pileups. Next up, Section 5, Surviving Battlefield Threats. As you'll see here, graceful degradation is baked right into the architecture. Enemy jams the GPS? No problem. It switches to internal inertial navigation. What if they spoof the GPS to trick the truck into driving off a cliff? Multi-antenna arrays detect the fake signal's angle, reject it entirely, and re-anchor to an internal map. If a dust storm completely blinds the cameras, the system instantly re-weights its trust over to the radar. It adapts, it mitigates, and it survives. So the crucial point is really this NAVIC-first navigation setup. Because the primary navigation anchor is India's own indigenous NAVIC satellite constellation, the swarm is totally independent of foreign GPS systems. And even if adversaries manage to completely deny all external signals for 10+ minutes, the internal dead reckoning is so precise that the location drift stays under 1.5 meters. That is simply incredible. Finally, Section 6, Deployment and Scalability. And this brilliantly illustrates how it actually hits the road. The doctrine uses a hybrid convoy model. You've got a human commander sitting safely in a lead vehicle, heading up a swarm of 4 to 10 autonomous follower trucks, with the whole shebang monitored by a central control hub. It drastically reduces the number of human lives exposed in the line of fire, while ensuring a human always retains ultimate command authority. Plus, the Army doesn't need to wait 20 years to buy an entirely new fleet of expensive sci-fi trucks. This is a retrofit-ready autonomy kit. It is totally modular. They literally just take the existing Ashok Leyland Stallion and Tata trucks they already own and slap this autonomy kit right on them without modifying the chassis at all. That kind of scalability is a massive, real-world game changer. Which brings us to a really provocative final thought. We've just seen how these swarms can pierce through dust storms, navigate completely without GPS, avoid cliff edges on ice, and communicate securely while under active electronic attack. So if machines can reliably and autonomously navigate the world's absolute deadliest terrains completely without us, what exactly is the future role of the human soldier? It is an awe-inspiring shift in defense technology, and it's a frontier we are going to be watching very closely. Thanks for joining me on today's Explainer, and keep learning.